What happens when a feel-good morning show collides with a guest who refuses to play along? On Live with Kelly and Mark, the morning's mood was meant to be easy. The set gleamed like it always did in the soft Manhattan light, bright and airy, blue glass catching the shine of overhead beams. Kelly Ripa came with her usual sunshine, smiling wide, hugging staff in the wings, straightening her stack of note cards with a flick that said she'd done this 1,000 times. Beside her, Mark Consuelos radiated calm, his baritone smooth, posture relaxed, the kind of anchor energy that suggested no storm could ever really knock the show off its rails. The applause light blinked on, and the audience rose to the moment, cheering, clapping, leaning forward as the cameras panned across their faces. The stage manager's voice rang out from the wings, "Here we go!" And then Meghan Markle walked in. The room seemed to tighten as though the air itself leaned closer. She was dressed in cream, a blazer that cut clean lines, a silk blouse tucked just so, trousers that draped perfectly. She carried herself like she had stepped out of a Vogue spread and into live television. Her smile was flawless, gleaming for the cameras, but something in her eyes betrayed a spark already burning. She shook hands, nodded graciously, and slid into the guest chair with the polish of someone who had crossed countless red carpets. From the start, the energy was unusual. "Meghan, welcome," Kelly said, her voice warmed like honey. "We're so happy you're here." "Thrilled to be here," Meghan replied, flashing teeth that caught the light. But her smile stopped short of her eyes, leaving a faint chill behind the gloss. The first questions were soft, scripted for ease. Mark leaned in, his tone steady. "You've had a big year. New projects, new partnerships. For folks just waking up with us, what's the big focus right now?" Meghan's words landed like polished press copy, storytelling with impact, elevating unheard voices. "We're building platforms that move culture forward." The phrasing was sharp, the cadence deliberate, each syllable landing like the click of a lock. Kelly nodded, but her brow pinched faintly. The smallest twitch, as if the metallic ring of the response had scraped against the show's intended softness. "Impact is a great word," Kelly said, easing her smile wider. She slipped in a gentle laugh. "With your new season coming up, people are curious about what you'll explore."
"Any themes you're excited about?"
Meghan's reply was instant. Agency. Refusing to be defined by outdated systems. Outdated systems. Kelly's head tilted just slightly, as if rolling the phrase across her tongue. "Do you mean the industry, Hollywood, or the bigger one?" Meghan's smile sharpened into something cooler. "If a system survives by silencing people, then age is just a number." A low murmur moved across the audience risers. Too soft for microphones, but loud enough to stir nerves. Kelly kept her sunshine steady. Mark adjusted his posture, his expression the blank calm of a trained broadcaster. "Since you mentioned systems," Mark said smoothly, "you've spoken before about control of your narrative. You stepped back from royal duties for privacy and health. Completely understandable. But you've also been very public. Interviews, series, a best-selling memoir. How do you balance that?" Meghan's exhale was quiet, but it cut like a blade. "Privacy is not silence, Mark, it's agency. I decide what matters. That's not contradiction, that's adulthood." Kelly's lips stayed curved, but her eyes tightened a fraction. "Totally hear you," she said. She flipped to another card. "There's also business. Trade papers say negotiations for your new season were robust. Some fans wonder, did you ask for significantly more?" Meghan laughed. Pretty practiced and pointed. "Isn't it funny how a woman asking market value becomes greedy while men call it vision? We align compensation with impact. That's not gossip. That's math." The audience gasped, then chuckled nervously. Kelly nodded graciously, but her grip on the card stack whitened. "So it's fair to say you pushed for parity." "It's fair to say we don't discount ourselves," Meghan replied, folding her hands neatly, punctuating the moment with posture as firm as a period. The banter had sharpened into fencing. Kelly smiled wider, but her shoulders stiffened. Mark attempted a softer pivot. "Let's touch on the personal, only what you're comfortable with. Viewers admire your marriage as a team. Separate travel schedules get amplified online. Anything you'd like to say to quiet the rumor machine?" Meghan's smile cooled another degree. "Teams divide and conquer. Adults have calendars. If strangers need more than that, I suggest a hobby." A ripple of nervous laughter skittered through the risers. Kelly chuckled softly, but her eyes darted toward the control booth as if searching for the producer's next cue. All right, she said, settling back into her chair, voice pitched higher. Home life aside, your advocacy resonates. Mental health, women's leadership. What does success look like this year? Meghan's answer landed with finality. Stories that don't ask permission, and closing the door on noise. Kelly glanced at her card, then set it down. Speaking of noise, you've been candid about the monarchy, how it felt for you. Some say your tone can sound dismissive of tradition. Do you still feel as strongly? Meghan straightened, her chin rising slightly. Tradition without humanity is pageantry. I don't confuse costumes with character. The audience inhaled as one. The Steadicam operator leaned in as if even the lens itself was drawn tighter. Mark's voice stayed smooth. Do you see a path to reconciliation with the family? Many fans hope for that. Reconciliation begins with truth, not choreography, Meghan said. I don't perform apologies. The silence hung like a storm cloud. Kelly's smile thinned, then reset. You've said your truth many times. Others involved say their facts differ. Timelines, details. Meghan cut her off with a smile still pinned in place. Wouldn't it be refreshing if people stopped nitpicking my life? It landed like a stone dropped on a marble floor. Kelly let the silence breathe, her decades of live TV instincts warning that a beat of quiet could speak louder than pressing. She tried again, voice softened. We ask because we care. Because millions care. Context helps. Context is often a velvet rope, Meghan replied. It keeps some people inside the story, others out. I'm inside mine. Mark cleared his throat gently, pivoting toward the camera. Then let's give you that space. What do you want people to understand that they never seem to get right? That I don't owe them a performance, Meghan said without blinking. I share because I choose to, not because strangers are entitled to inventory my life. Kelly folded her hands tightly. Totally. And since this is also a show about breakfast table honesty, do you ever look back and wish a phrasing had been gentler? A moment handled with more grace? Meghan paused, then answered evenly. Grace is sometimes code for be smaller. I don't do smaller. The line skittered across the desk like ice. Mark nodded once, thoughtful. Kelly inhaled deeply through her nose, then pressed forward. One more business thing before the break, she said, her tone measured. You've built a production brand quickly. Some critics say the royal title opens doors even as you critique the monarchy. Is that tension for you? Meghan's smile returned, camera perfect, completely unamused. If a name opens a door, it's because the room wants me there. Tension isn't my problem. It belongs to whoever resents the invite. A few audience members exchanged uneasy glances. Mark smoothed his grin. We're going to pause. When we come back, some rapid fire from viewers and a sneak peek at the new season. Lovely, Meghan said, though the word landed like a stamp, not a sentiment. Music rose. Applause swelled uneven. The applause light flicked. In the half-shadow of reset, a makeup artist approached Meghan but retreated when she raised one palm without looking. The floor manager leaned toward Kelly. Spicy. Kelly didn't reply. She stared into the empty middle distance of live TV, the invisible line where charm meets honesty and one of them has to yield. 30 seconds, came the voice from the booth. Mark sipped his coffee. You good? Kelly smiled, this time real and complicated. Always. Meghan shifted slightly in her chair, blazer gliding, gaze hardening. The countdown blinked across the cameras. 5, 4, 3, then red. Welcome back, Kelly said, brightness intact but a shadow beneath. We're here with Meghan Markle, sharing insights into her new projects and perspectives on, well, just about everything. Her smile stretched wide for the wide shot, but her eyes carried something else. The questions resumed. This time the edge was sharper. Reports of contract demands, speculation about stalled productions. Audience anticipation prickled like static. Kelly asked point blank, Don't you think it's fair for viewers to ask whether you're still benefiting from the monarchy you call toxic? The titles, the attention, the platform, it all came from there. Isn't it like cashing the checks while tearing down the bank? The studio froze. Even the crew shifted. Meghan's eyes flared, her voice cutting. Irony? No. Surviving a system while calling out its toxicity isn't irony. It's courage. The room held its breath. By the time Mark smoothed the transition to commercial, the air had thinned to something brittle, fragile. The applause that followed was perfunctory, almost embarrassed. Backstage, whispers raced through headsets. Producers exchanged glances, one mouthing the word, "Grenade." On stage, Meghan crossed one leg over the other, her blazer crisp as armor. Kelly stacked her cards tightly, hands trembling almost imperceptibly. Mark leaned back, eyes distant, the calm mediato.